this is, my name is Aya Khalil, and this is my debut picture book called The Arabic Quilt. And this is my second book that's going to be coming out in the fall. This is not the real book, it's just like paper. They're prints. That's coming out in October. But yeah, my debut came out in 2020. Illustrated by Anait Semirdzhyan by Tilbury House. Yeah, I had this story that's was in my mind for so long, and I don't know if anybody has read the book, but basically it's about an Egyptian girl who is having a hard time fitting in, and the teacher comes up with an idea, and they create a quilt based on her grandma's quilt. And it's based on a true story. So I had a teacher back when I was in third grade, so it was like a long, long time ago. And I lived in North Dakota, and she kind of did like the same thing. And just a couple of years ago, I was like, I don't know, this would make such a good book. And I was like reading a lot of books, and I was reviewing books, and I worked at a school, and I was like, I feel like this needs to be a book. And so I wrote it all in like one sitting, and I thought it was amazing. But it was getting like a lot of rejections when I was sending it out to agents and smaller publishing houses. And then I got like really good feedback from a couple of one editor and one agent who gave me just like really good feedback. Which I'm always appreciative of that, because that really helped me, and I joined critique groups. And yeah, and then finally, an agent, his name is Brent, he's amazing. He was interested in the book, but he told me I need to cut it down a little bit. And it was really long. And I remember I sat up until like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was out of town with my friend. We were in Michigan just for like the weekend, and she was like, you could do it. I had to like cut it down. He asked me like a certain number, I think to like 700, which is typical for picture books. Yeah, and I think I submitted it like probably in the morning or something, but I remember I was like up at 2 a.m. and she was just cheering me on. Yeah.
Somebody could you share the book again for people joining? It's The Arabic Quilt.
Okay.
Had somebody ask about that.
Yeah, and then so we talked a couple of days later, and he offered representation, which was really exciting. And yeah, a couple of months afterwards, a publisher, it's a small publishing house, but they're really amazing. It's called Tilbury House. And they had said that they have a popular title called Layla's Lunchbox by Reem Farouki. I feel like she's been on your Instagram before. Yeah, so she was awesome because I was asking her questions also at the same time, and she's been always like really helpful. She's a great author, if you didn't know her. But yeah, yeah, the publisher took a chance on this book, and my agent took a chance on this book, and I didn't even believe in this book, honestly, but I don't know, I'm really great. I'm so grateful and like just humbled that like just people enjoy it. And it's really nice to have like messages from like parents and families and telling me like their kids, even just by like their kids are bilingual speakers, or they're Muslim kids or Arab kids, or just anybody who feels kind of left out. So I feel like it resonates with a lot of people and children.
Definitely. I mean, is that what you were hoping to achieve with the book?
Yeah.
I mean, that you were, for my kind of message for other kids who might be like you said, other kids who are feeling left out, especially ones who
absolutely. One of my favorite spreads in here is this spread right here, and they're all sitting on a table. It's her first day of school, and her dad is really excited because he packed her a kofta sandwich, and she's just kind of nervous because she's like, thank you, shukran baba, but secretly she wished her baba had packed her a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And that's just so relevant for like children of immigrants, or third culture kids, or immigrants themselves. So just things like that. And then later on, that's just so relevant, like even like myself when I was growing Go. Yeah, so I really
Mm-hmm.
hoped like children who kind of felt othered at times resonated or kind of felt that book, this part.
And one of the things that I think is so remarkable about it, like you said, it's based on your own experience and that you had that teacher, especially I didn't realize it was in North Dakota, but that's not like, you know, your image of of I don't know, a very
Yeah.
diverse place to be growing up in, that you had that I know you said you've had some teachers who really didn't make it a very inclusive environment, but they had this one teacher who really went out of her way to try and come up with a way to make you feel really included, to make it a really safe space. What do you think that says about the role that teachers can have, and kind of how they can respond to
Yeah,
diversity in
it's
their
so
classrooms?
important. It's so important. And even like I've worked in classrooms before, where like you can just tell if a teacher is like annoyed by your culture or your food or your parents' accent or what you wear. You can just tell. Like I can tell. Like I can read the room really well. Like as an adult right now, kids can pick up though. Like kids can notice like facial expression. The kids are really smart. Like if you see a teacher going like that to your food, like that's
Yeah.
really hurtful. And I've seen it happen. It's just so important because the kids will remember it. Like my daughter like casually said, oh yeah, the classroom, another classroom recreated your Arabic quilt but in Hebrew. I was like, oh, that's amazing. So it just is something like that. Now like all the kids in their classroom are going to look at it in like the different language that's on there. um it's just really important. And I reconnected with the teacher from North Dakota, I think after the book was published. Yeah,
Oh,
because I
you
have a
did.
friend, her name
Wow.
is Joy, and she connected us because I asked, because we've been in touch for like, this was back in, I don't know, like 96 or something like that. In North Dakota, yeah, I was in a tiny town called Minot, North Dakota. So me and my brother were the only Muslims in the whole school. Yeah, not that diverse, but she went out of her way to make me feel included, and she asked me, can you write everybody's names in Arabic? And I remember like staying up all night again. But this time my mom was helping me like sound out the words in Arabic and their names. And I just remember I was so excited about it. Like the next day, like I was passing out their names, and they're like, wow, like all these letters look so cool in Arabic. Like I can't believe this is my name. And she was awesome. And then I sent her a copy of my book. um and she went to the school and took a picture of the book at the school. So it was really cool. It just went like full circle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it was really
amazing.
cool.
And so you've talked about how important it is to tell our own stories and how that really can help change the environment to make it a more of a safe, inclusive space, but also fighting against discrimination, attempts at erasure. What is it about storytelling that is so powerful, and why do we need that
I
so
think
much?
it's just so important because it's passed down from one generation to the next, and you don't want other people telling your story. I don't know. For me, like
Right.
I know like a couple of months ago my mom was just she had like this little notebook in the living room. I was like, what is this? And she's like, oh, it's a diary from her dad, from my dad, from like the 50s. I was like, oh, this is amazing. How come we never knew about this? Like, I'm 34. And she
Mhm.
like had this diary when he was like back in college, and he was back in
Wow.
like law school. And she just went through it and was reading it. I was so inspired by it, and like this needs to like somehow be published out in the world. But it's still good. Like you don't always have to, but um it's so important to have those, because then yeah, so now like I'm the granddaughter and I'm reading, and I was explaining it to my own daughter also, like about his experiences. And it's just there because it's just inspirational. And it's just so important. I don't want my kids to ever forget like my my parents' immigrant experiences. I mean, I came to the US when I was 1, so I kind of have like my heart is like in both places because we grew up going to Egypt a lot in the summers. But yeah, I just want our stories to be there, and I make an effort to like write in my own kids' I have like a journal for all of my kids, and I just write different experiences and like things
Wow.
that happen and just growing up because time flies. And I just want,
That's such a great idea. So you're
yeah.
writing journal
So each
entries for
a
them.
couple of years ago, I have like a notebook, like a little diary for each of my kids. I have three kids. And I mean, sometimes I'll go like months
Hmm.
without writing anything because I mean, I have three kids and I have a lot of stuff to
Right.
do. But if I get like a moment, I'll like scribble down things. I try to write just like important things like in life. Like I remember during COVID, I was writing a lot because I was writing a lot during COVID time. Yeah, so it's really crucial. And you can tell your stories in different ways. I always tell the kids, if writing is not their thing, there's other ways to tell your stories, like by coloring, drawing, storytelling is definitely in different forms.
Right. Yeah, I just got back actually from a visit to my parents, and I saw firsthand it's just constantly them telling stories. And like you said, it's inspirational, and I think it also really helps ground kids to know like kind of
Yeah,
the stories of their family and their
absolutely.
culture.
Absolutely. So important.
Yeah. And you are also, I wanted to switch gears a little bit because I wanted to
Oh
talk
yeah.
about Kidlit and Color, and that you're one of the co-founders. A lot of people probably already know who they are, but for those who don't, can you just tell us a little bit about Kidlit and Color, and then how did it come about, the
Yeah,
actual founding of it?
so um sorry. When I think it was like a couple of months before my debut came out. I just had like a bunch of different
Hmm.
like friends and like also friends who were also debuting, and there were just like a lot of issues that I wanted to talk to with people because I mean my family is great, they're very supportive, but there are just some things that they don't really get it like in the publishing world. And I felt like my author friends who were authors of color, they also had similar experiences. So one of my really good friends,
Right.
her name is Kirsty. We were just like talking about like just some frustrations that were going on, and we're like, yeah, we should just start a group because there's so much that goes on. Just that happens to like only us. To just like authors of color and marginalized authors in general that white authors probably won't face in this industry. So yeah, we came up with Kidlit in Color, and I think it was started in 2020. But it was like under a different name. I think it was called Diverse Debuts. And yeah, it's been great. It's been growing. We have a lot of incredible authors. Another one of the other co-founders, sorry, Jamila Tompkins Bigelow. She's also one of our founding members. Valerie Bowling and Lisa Stringfellow. And then there's a lot of other incredible authors. We know what's going on, and like we share similar experiences. We try to boost each other's works and
Right.
yeah, give advice, and it's a nice community. It's a great, and we recommend a lot of really great books.
That's wonderful. I mean, I know I've been following you, Kidland Color, on Instagram and Twitter, and I didn't realize that it was that
Yeah.
recent. It just seemed like it's just so it has that. It feel like that it's so established. I thought it had been around. And you've got a comment, somebody who's saying that they would love to learn more. So if somebody is interested in joining or working with Kidlit and Color,
Sure.
what's the
So
best way
we're
for
on
them to do that?
Instagram. It's just called Kidlit in Color, and we have an email also. It's called info at Kidlit in Color. Sure, it's Kidlit in Color. I'll try to write it down maybe after we're done. Um, yeah.
And I'll make sure when we
Okay.
post this,
Yeah,
I'll
that would
make
be
sure to put
great.
that in the
Yeah,
description.
we do a lot of
Um,
like author
yeah.
interviews and features. We're not doing it, just gotten a little bit too big for us to keep up because we do everything by ourselves. So we're not really opening it to new authors, but we're very supportive and like we review books for like authors of color or marginalized authors basically, and we can do like reviews and blog posts. So we're always willing to do that.
And then just because we're kind of coming up to near the end, I wanted to switch gears again and talk about your books that you have coming up. I know you kind of showed us at the beginning the artwork or the cover for your newest
It's
one.
so
And this is a
cute.
board
Yeah.
book, right?
It's called Our World, Egypt, and it's a board book. This is like the outer flap, and it's by Barefoot Books, which I've just been like a big fan of their books for so long. So it's been like a dream. And this is the author also is incredible. She's Egyptian Italian. Um, and this is the spread. I'll show also a sneak peek of another spread. I'm sorry. It's part of a series. So it's called Our World. And then so Japan and France are also coming out at the same time. And then I think every couple of months they're working on newer books. So this is like another one of my favorite spreads because it's about a daughter. Basically, it follows a daughter and her dad in Egypt. And there we look at the fishing boats as we walk back home along the Corniche, and I just can't believe like how vibrant and colorful the illustrations are. They're so pretty. And over here, yeah, it's perfect for like toddlers and little ones, and there's different colors and shapes that they can look at. So I love just that it's so authentic because they made an effort to look for authors and illustrators that are from that country. So it's really nice that we're both Egyptian, and we chose like a city that we both grew up going to in Egypt. It's called Alexandria. So it's like a beachy city. It's a touristy, not really touristy, but it's a really beachy, colorful city. So I'm excited, and it's up for pre-order now.
So exciting. And was it really different to do a board book?
It was really hard because as you can see, there's only a few words on each page, like a sentence.
Right.
And I tend to write longer picture books because remember with my debut, my agent told me like to slash it like in half. So it was challenging, but my editor was incredible, Kate De Palma. She was awesome, and I'm excited. I hope people like it. Let me know if you want an e-arc. I also have e-arcs, a digital arc. Sorry, you cut off. I can't hear you.
I know. I would love that. I just want to make sure that we got to talk about. I think you have two others coming out next year. Especially, I heard you talk about the band book sale, or what is the title?
The band books.
I don't remember if that's exactly. But I've heard you talk about that. That came out of like another real life experience.
Yeah, so it's called the Band Books Bake Sale. Because my debut was on a band book list in October, and so I had a chance to write another book for the same publisher, and yeah, it's basically a book about the same. Oh, sorry, my daughter just came in. The same character, Kenzie, finds out that like her favorite books are banned in the library, and she gets really upset, obviously, and it's based on a true story. I think in the back matter, I explained it a little bit. And then her grandma, her tita, visits her. She's visiting her at the time. And so she kind of like helps her sort it out, and she tells her experiences of the Egyptian revolution like 10 years ago. So they kind of like link it together. Oh, I'm right here.
Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I know you're busy. I appreciate you taking time to talk with us. And it was such a joy to talk with you and have you on here. I think we might have lost her a little bit. But for those that are watching, I will make sure in our description we link to the Kidling Color also, which she was the co-founder of. And again, her debut picture book is the Arabic Quilt, which you can find there. She has the board book on Egypt is coming out this fall, and then 2 other books that are coming out next year, including the Band Book Bake Sale, which she was just talking about. So thanks everybody.